Sanje Chedan Zoji Jono Lai Shancho Bada Dana Jabsam Je Dake Chishe Jebe Tonam Je Dola Penchara Sanje Draba Sho Sanje Chedan Zoji Jono Lai Shancho Bada Dana Jabsam Je Dake Shinso Jebe Tonam Je Dola Penchara Sanje Draba Sure. You want comfortable on your couch, your bed, or your sofa. You know, I want story. Sometimes, you know, when there's a Zoom very dangerous, you know. Right now, all the people use the Zoom. People just, you know, even the fancy, the companies, they have meetings. Who say how you call it? Participate, correct?
Participate.
They just put the upper nice suit. They don't wear any, you know, pen anything. Sometimes he or she didn't know if people can see other side. He think only people can see the upper body. Sometimes this is happen. I heard the one guy. I heard the news. The one guy, the company, one company's, you know, big guy. No, he thinks, you know, he's turned off his video. He only listened to the microphone. Then he went to take shower. He take his phone with him in the bathroom. He take shower, but he didn't turn off the video. Then everyone can say, "This has happened." Therefore, you don't have to do, how I say, you don't have to wear the dress properly. And then also, yeah, this is I really told, you know, someone has just wearing the suit of, you know, upper body, just put everything, but he didn't put, you know, pen, you know, under. He just put the underwear. Then he just the other people can, how he put the camera, and all people can see him. Therefore, sometimes, you know, Zoom makes us we are too lazy. We just try to pretend for the get up, but we not yet get up. This has happened sometimes. I heard that. Therefore, we have to be careful. You're not.
Geshe, I have to admit that I'm only wearing my pajama bottoms.
Huh?
I'm wearing pajama bottoms today.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not saying we have to do that. I just, you know, sometimes this happen, you know. Usually this is very easy, right? Just you can just, you know, even use on the bed. You just put the you know, how you say, shirt or something that people can say, you get up, but you're on the bed. But you have to be careful. People can. Yeah, I heard it. This time everyone use the Zoom. Also, I think some other also, how you say, some this kind of things. Then people use the lot of meetings, the online. Then this happen. Anyway, yeah, this is one thing is very convenient. But one thing is you're a little dangerous. You have to be careful. Make sure your camera put correctly. If you're not aware, how you say, properly, just put your camera, just see up there. Yeah. This I heard that there's a lot happen. You know, the big companies. You know, there are a lot of people. You know, they cannot. How you say? physically they meet, then they use this one. Then just each one is lazy, oh, this okay, just I don't have to do that. This is a big mistake. Anyway, that's I thought to a little bit make you guys laughing. The laughing with you good exercise. Then laughing also brings the happiness. That you can see that a lot of people, say His Holiness Dalai Lama laughing. His laughing bring a lot of peace and happy feeling for them. Of course, you need to some intention. Otherwise, you just ha 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 laughing, then it doesn't work. But you're laughing that you really your inner laughing, then you can get more peace. Therefore, I just make you guys wake up. Okay. Anyway, wonderful. Yeah, this is right now it's 110 days. Like we do like this. 111 days. 3 months and 20, almost 4 months. Wow. But do you feel it's time's very short? Do you have a feeling like that? Or too long? Time's too long. Now, for me, time's too short. Even I couldn't, how you say, come Sunday or Wednesday, really? Like that. Time's very short. I think also I'm going to the, do the prayer. Maybe sometimes I'm doing 6 hours a day. Maybe therefore, not just directly one time 6 hours, but 1 hour, half hour, 1 hour, half hour, like that. Then like 6 hours. Yesterday, I talk about Tibetans sometimes. I said, Geshe, don't do that. It's very bad for your health. You stay all day on the computer. I'm not stay all day. Just 1 hour, half hour, 1 hour, half hour, like that. Yeah, this is also one thing's good, Usually the very hard for Tibetans do the prayers. Like this time, more than 3 months, still we have pretty good prayers every evening. Even the kids, they can recite the mantras. I just make them to show, as kids like to, they can see themselves. They say, oh, I'm the leader, Then I'm click them unmute, they can also recite. I think it's also make them to more, interest. Like this, there are a lot also good things we can say. There will be, if we're looking for the negative things, also always negatives. We can see only negatives. But I think better to just looking for positives. The negatives right now, I think US every day, like more than before they, case. I think this is also people doesn't take it too serious. This is a problem. Before we heard, everyone's nervous, everyone's very stressful. Everyone says, oh, what can they do? What can they do? What happened? What happened? Then everyone very serious to taking care. Now, like more than 3 months, like it become like normal. Therefore, people's mind become more relaxed. I think so. Therefore, people doesn't much care. Then this happen. Therefore, still make sure everyone be careful. Don't be careless. Okay. Now they say also the disease also stayed on the air like 8 hours. It's more dangerous. Therefore, wherever you go, whatever you do, just try to yourself best. Protection is very important. Okay. Then basically if we don't lose anything. Every classes you guys got more than before. I think you guys also participate prayers, chantings, practice, I think more than before. Therefore, I think you guys also doesn't get any lost. Just only come to center, and that is okay. Even you come here, you have to do always something. everyone just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes to clean, put the trash there, and you don't hear this voice. More comfortable. Therefore, you got all the prayers and chantings. And also, you guys from your side also, very support center always. It's very wonderful. I would like to say thank you for you guys. We have to pay bills bills doesn't stop, come bills that we have to pay, that you guys also do. Everyone just continue support the center, donate the center. This is very wonderful. Therefore, the center and student, depends each other. We have center, also we able to do some prayer, something. And we have to you students, also center can survive. Therefore, you guys also doing pretty good on the sports center, especially in this time, financially. It's a wonderful, you guys are very good. I very appreciate, how you say?
Appreciate.
Appreciate. Did I say correct? Appreciate.
Appreciate.
No. Appreciate. No? Oh.
Appreciate.
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 Appreciate. Appreciate. I think we have to change the English words, too complicated. Appreciate. It's correct? Appreciate. Thank you. Yeah, it's wonderful. Therefore, also, like students also doesn't lose any opportunity to pray, practice meditation. And also, you guys also do continue the support the center. It's very wonderful. We are the one family. We are the one family. We are the one, Dharma brothers, sisters. Therefore, everything will change. Also, don't be surprised. Anything, some change, you say, what happened? It's okay. It is impermanent. Impermanent means just, it's very important to practice meditation impermanent. If you're very good in practice impermanent, if something changes, something happens, then you're not very surprised. Oh yeah, this is possible. Oh yeah, this is possible. Right? Like that, where's Tomchu? Where Tomchu? Where are you? I think maybe he's taking shower.
I'm here.
Oh, he's here. Where are you? We don't see you. Are you guys come back home?
Yes, long time ago.
Oh, good. Yeah. Like that, okay? Just I like to share you guys for thank you. Also, you guys also doesn't lose any opportunity. Also, you can get more relaxed. You can stay home. You don't have to wear the properly dressed. Just you can stay home. Just make sure you put your how is it? How you call it? Short, right? Then make sure you put your camera up. Then nothing dangerous. Even you're on the bed, it's okay. It's no problem. It's nothing wrong, Even you're on the bed, it's okay. Okay, like that. It's a wonderful. Then also I can feel you guys. I don't know if you guys feel me. I can see you. When I see you guys, I really feel, more connection. Sometimes we don't see each other long time. Then also our connection become a little bit far away, right? Therefore, we can see each other, we can hear, then also our connection, we always say that. This is the nature for the also impermanent. Therefore, I can see all of you here. Look like you guys also like Sam, looks not impermanent. I don't see you guys getting old. You guys same person. Just make sure you can good sleep, good food, then relax your mind, then it will fun, Therefore, yeah, like this by COVID-19, this problem is not just our one family's problem, one country's problem. This is a global problem. We cannot do much. Cannot, yeah. Therefore, we just accept. We just follow. Have been. Now I can see you. Therefore, how you say? Yeah. We just accept. Better just to accept than less stressful. I think a lot of things. It's mixed for us to more stressful because we don't accept that situation. Therefore, I think good just accept, then maybe just better. It means not the problems go away, but for our side it's much better. Okay, now I'm not talking about it, working English. Appreciate. Did I say correctly? Appreciate. Okay, but I forgot, I'm so lazy. Yeah. 다채나 당가도 가상에 다 샤적을 셈 제당을 걸셔되기 왔어.
And so now we've been recently talking about how to generate bodhicitta, right?
간제 아니 샤적을 셈 세대 가원에 오는 아니 샴바다 이제 된제가 끊어올라 되는 연구여러 봐.
And so where does the bodhicitta come from? The bodhicitta come from the motivation such as loving kindness and compassion.
제자가 아니 샴바다 이제 세대 고 축해 랭게지 바나리 축해 멜랭게지 바나 처음에 구해 자등도.
And the loving kindness and compassion is something that is needed for everybody, whether you believe in religion or not, right?
다 나중에 아니 샴종 그 올라 살롱 슝이지 마도 샴종 올라 살롱 뭐지기 파시 샘친친의 요사 말어.
Like that, so more, all of these sentient beings, are raised, under the care of loving kindness and compassion, right?
제가 아니 나 아니 샴종다 아니 젤라 땡고 말 나랑 고통요 삼바이나 아니 삼도대 농축에서 대 농축 차들다.
And so thinking that I don't have to depend on loving kindness and compassion, I can be independent. I can be on my own without loving kindness and compassion. Thinking like that, I think would be mistaken or wrong.
제가 아니 샴바다 이제다 근데 냠네 징에도야 아니 미파 하정 세바지고요와 바페보요와 아니 신장보요와 아니 소소 시점을 먼저 아니 소소 공유라 여기서 파 아니 직간제 달헬라 연구에서 봤어.
So those who practice the loving kindness and compassion, are always happy and peaceful, and not only themselves are in peace, but also brings other people around them, the whole environment into peace.
다때 빼라고 차샤와야나 빼나 아메기 샴종도 요한다 아니 부구 춘주도 못되고 요한나 아메 락바가 그 투가 수벌 판 잡아야나 부구대 시찬에 잡에찬에 그 잠들이 로도.
So for example, like if a child is crying, because of something, right? The fear or not having something, but then when mother touches with the loving kindness and compassion, just by that touch, that brings peace in the child.
다 나중에 아니 샴테 요와이나 아니 뭐 파도 찍질라 샴테나 아니 찍질라 이체 거래. 미찍질라 이체요나 아니 다르가 아니 찍들다. 아니 튼들도 되는 거라고.
And so if you have loving kindness and compassion towards each other, then there will be also a trust between each other. And then
아니 다 찍들도 아니 튼들도.
And then there will be also harmony.
제다 아니 샴다다 이제 세대 땅가도 잠벨게 야르타 체주 다 체주도 잘라도 키고서라.
And so therefore the loving kindness and compassion are the most valuable thing in the world.
제다 인사를 저도 정해도 인사를 했어.
What do you think? Is that true?
배나 미상어질이야 바와 아마니 찍질라 샴테 첨보 가제 미상비 뺀 잠보 제와나 아니 남이야마나 가데나 바페보 아니 부고이나 부야보 영화 아니 남이 파마니 가데는 추바지냐 자되게나 남이는 지 칼라지서나 고 좋아시라 매되게 아니 부고이나 지 파마냠도 되라 강연 태되게 어떤데 연구도 대인가서 냠냠하게 연구다.
So this is something that we can find out from our experience, right? There is loving kindness and compassion and trust and harmony, in the family, especially among parents, right? Then that brings the peace in whole family. And the children are also loving and caring and very harmony. And if there is no loving kindness and compassion in the parents, and they're always kind of quarreling, then the children also, the whole house becomes a place, unbearable place. So children don't want to be around, they don't feel happy to be around, and like that. So that's all because of having or not having compassion, loving kindness.
Yeah, something 말아서 찌기질라야 쑥고요와나 찌기질라 기저요와야나야 아니 다 남이긴 tunde kiyo래.
Then also, regarding respecting, regarding each other, also brings harmony in the family.
제가 드네를 뺀다 다 지나서 뺀다 다 조각게메나 조보토모 담보 뒤에깔라 찌기질라 세섬요래 기저요래 빼면서 지나지 봐라 조각지보시오요래.
It's just like when you first meet with your boyfriend or girlfriend, you have so much like love and compassion and affection towards each other, right? And therefore you're always happy to be with each other, around each other.
드네를 왜?
Is that like that?
드네를 되게 세섬대야 칼레 많이 냠더고 그랬어.
When that loving and affectionate love becomes less and less.
인바나 많이 냠바나 찌기질라 기접다 쑥고요나 아코 근데 때와 냠바나 숙침보 냠바나 같이 내 남이건 tun들 때다다 대대 그래. 지금이라 기접다 죽고요나.
But if even if the affectionate love decreases, but if there is respect and consideration, for each other, then it will remain. The harmony will remain again.
제가 나처럼도 빼자. 나도 침대 재미면서 하지 왔어. 아니 뽀뽀 몸이 두바쇼 자그랬어. 뽀뽀니 그러니 달로 눈치도 와래 이제. 난 두바잖아 아마데 뽐보랬어. 아마데 가르쳐줘도 그랬다 이제.
I'll give you an example of our neighbor here, Chinese neighbor. They're like in their 70s, right? They're senior couples in their 70s. They're always fighting with each other.
얘나야 즉 누가들라고 말다. 다 제가 근데 재미가 지금 코로나도 야 깨시기 전에 깨자 가르치나 깨 처먹으러 오더니 여와시 로서 가네 깨 나도 난 두바자도 왜 원은 두바지기 누가 들어달라고 말했어.
They feel like, and I don't understand Chinese, and they're talking in Chinese, and like when the Chinese, when they talk, they're very loud, so it sounds like they're fighting. So like it looks like the woman is in power all the time, and she's winning all the time.
얘나 코란이 지글질라 빼 쑥거시오래 기십시오래.
But there is very much respect and consideration for each other, very strong.
제가 다 코란이 다 뽀뽀 모모래다. 옌바에나 다 뽀모자이나 코란이 카카카가 찌우로 말해. 절로 덤바네 냠도 뭐지 뽀뽀 말하는 모모도 말아 보고 코란이 냠도 뭐지 카가치네 다쇼 지나도 빼나 뽀뽀 뭐 담보 가오 투에 값이 냠도라 대나지 코는로 그랬을 거니.
But they have so much, respect, consideration, love for each other, that they always go out together. They never go out, by one person alone, and they never go out like that. They always go together. If the grandpa goes, then the grandma goes too. If the grandma goes, the grandpa goes. They're always together, and when they go out together. Just like when you first meet with your boyfriend, girlfriend, you always together. It's like that all the time.
제가 뽀뽀 실로 되나 아마 실로 되는 거래. 아마 실로 뽀뽀 실로 되겠지. 제하면 나 그니 부에 코란이 부에 자라나 도와야면 아면 로데 그랬지. 내가 그러지.
So if the grandpa comes out, the grandma also comes out. The grandma comes out, grandpa comes out. So they're both always together. So they're always doing something together all the time.
제가 삼성 코란이 깨실때는 지금 두 번째가 놓고 되나 나그 샘라 찌기질랑 건데 세상 빼 무슨 담보지도 나 거랑 건데 그래서 빼 야본 토소.
So that when they're like sounds like they're quarreling, they're shouting at each other. That sounds like quarreling, but they looks like they have very strong love and respect towards each other.
얘는 두 번째와는 아마 걔도 그래. 같이 빠바디 기업 체그랬어.
But then when they're shouting and quarreling, I feel like it's always the mother, the grandma is the one who's winning. The grandpa is always the one to give up.
제가 코란이 도대체 봐도 세상 세거나 같이 빼 찍질라 기접 야보여 같이 다 코로나니라 보모지라 보모들 막 봐요래. 코니라 보고지. 콘소 쓰면 빼 참보. 가데이나 보모지라 보모들 파절로 다 티네저래. 가데 예바나 빠와 아마냠도 절로 된다고. 제모제 다 나도 자나도 좀 보고나 티네지잖아. 나리야도 고 맞아 폰나 세모세데 맞아 빠와 마냠 로그면도 와서. 고도트네 레면도 절로 봐대 법바말 아마니 제모제 빠와 아마니 단다다 그니 보고 보모제 코로나니나 다당군이 보사마다 냠도 두고 선다고 파지 지기 질렀음 간제 남이 뺀 잠보였다.
And so this grandpa and grandma, they also have children. They have daughters, and then they have also grandchildren who are all in their teenagers. But they're always together, like playing and laughing and talking and being with each other. The teenage children nowadays, they don't spend time with their parents or grandparents, especially. They just want to be with their phone or tablets or something in their room. Shut the door and they be inside their room and do other things and never spend with them. But these children, they're always spending time there, even though the grandparents and their children, that the grandparents' children also are very fond to spend time together. And not only the children, the grandchildren also come and spend time together, playing and laughing all the time. So I thought that was like really good bond with each other.
제가 다 된대잖아. 그거는 사상이나 요급 쳐버려 왔어.
So if it's like that, then it's worth having a partner or family or spouse like that, right?
제자네 두성군에 나한테 야구시고 통서 간제 뽀뽀 모모니 찍질라 기집도 저거 야보 요한다. 아니 뭐라게 부모다 마파니 건도에 빼 무습에 빠 잡으시고도 간제 항상해로.
So I thought that was really good, because there is so much strong affection and love between the grandpa and grandma, and therefore they are also their daughter and the son-in-law also have so much love for each other, and they always come and spend time with them.
새야들래 아니 보고 쳐보자 아니 좋아하게 아니 제멜라지 코치 타리데 제메게 좋아라 타리데 쇼고 싫어 파디 투어명이 찬다고 그러왔어.
So otherwise, usually, when you first get married, then you still have the strong feeling for each other. Then once you have a child, then your feeling goes down. Then when the husband loses towards the wife, or the wife's feeling loses towards husband, like that, right?
그래서 아니 샘 되게 떼셈해야 돼. 간지 찍지라 귀걸어야 돼. 여와이나 아니 되게 니바디가 거네 야보 대도서 그래.
But if there is a strong love and respect and consideration for each other, then that kind of feeling will be there, strong for a long time.
근데 이 사람 저는 되게 돼.
Is it like that? Do you think it is like that? It's true.
생각도 빼나 남이 빈자로나 빼나 찍지라 기거나 아니 남이 빈자서 빼 잡으려고 찍지가 기거나 가대에는 좋아져야 되거든.
So in the family, among the husband, wife, or children, even like the siblings, like the brothers, sisters, if there is love and affection towards each other, then they always stick around and they support each other and so forth. If they don't have that, then even though they are siblings, brother and sister, they don't care for each other much, right?
제자 아니 제다 당경이 좀 봐. 아니 샴세세다. 이제 세대가도 메세는 거 자체주 제사로 와.
And so therefore, like I said, loving kindness and compassion are the most valuable possession in our life.
제다 당가나서 밀어야 남쪽에 스치려면 남쪽 야보여한다. 근데 신이보 야제 땅와테 나시기 난게 샘기 샴세 야제 땅도와나 아니 신이보 야제 간 로바 티서지 아니
So since we are human beings, with the intelligence, right, the wisdom and intelligence, and therefore, if we can develop our inner mind as much as we develop the external material things, then that would be really nice. That would be really happiness.
Oh, that never invited.
So do you think it's like that?
제가 텐데 뺑 알아서 나도 빼나 남주 소소 빼자데 록 빼자나 라바데 제다 아니 소소 삼로 제다 아니 대근 처음에 빼자나 라바는 이제 줄로 빼나 다 소소를 되게 냠냠매나 빼나 줄로는 제다한테 간데 지금도 대 텔라 듣는 건 로존 레아요 그래서.
So as we study the Dharma, we study from the text, right, from the scriptures or text. And as we study that, also we should apply that to our day-to-day life, and then out to the outside world. If it's really, does it really apply to that or not? So you can see by looking at the outside world, the way of life the people live. From there, you can also learn and gain more experience or realizations in our mind.
제가 형님아야 만도 와치를 미상하시래. 아니 보고 섬지 아니 아마데요. 파마섬 투나 가 콘도님 가 루파 자자바 콘도 냠도 투야치는 요말 투사는 루파 자래. 제가 네 가지 나라 찍질라 가지 투거다 대체치는 요말 아니 찍질라 로파치는 제가 말해.
And then also, then I know there's another family. There's a father, mother, and a child. They always fight with each other. So the moment they get together, they get into a fight. All the time there.
제자 아니 찍질라 기접다 죽을세되면은 아니 가지 남이 나기 찍고 대화다 라도도.
And so that if there is no, respect, consideration, or care for each other, then the happiness in the family loses.
제가 오늘 따티 가리려고 그래. 오늘 따티 초는 갈래가 뭐도 가리려고 그랬어. 나도 시삼도도.
So now the next step is, how do we develop that kind of affection and love for each other in the family? I don't get that affection and love in my family. So how do I? So that's the point.
제가 수수가 대체때 전라라게 왔던 거 거냐고 그랬어.
So how do we develop that? Is by finding out that our happiness and peace depends on others.
제가 아니 짬보는 뭐지게 깔로들은 나요랬어. 아니 수수가 대체때 전라 땡고 말했어. 대장가 전라 상호 땅고 말했어. 만나 대 노트레스 군도가 타치는 송셔랬어.
So His Holiness has said this with definite that if you think my happiness doesn't depend on others. My happiness, peace doesn't depend on others, so I don't have to, care about others, because my happiness and peace doesn't depend on others. If you think like that, that's completely wrong.
제가 남중한도 연구도 생각도 전라 땡고 매 삼바도 만도 연구했다 강들.
So we have this thought, a lot in our mind, right? Thinking that I don't have to depend on others.
오다 두 진의 삼로 땅에 아니 가지 아니 다 만도 배외가 남백이 주시나 아니 생대가 파마데 대나네 마디까지 첨보래 세네 다대 곰고 그래서.
So like that, thinking about the kindness of others, right? So how we have to depend on others for everything, especially the kindness of the mother. So we have all these things, the life, especially like by the kindness of our mother.
다도 전 아니 지금 알아서 아니 제발라 통마매봐 제발라 통마매만 파마라 아니 아니 잠깐 매봐 그래다 파마 집에 가기까지나 마집에 가기까지도 삼당고 이래서.
And so we have to think about the fact that there is no beginning to our life. There is no the number that we can count. Say, oh, this many times I've been born, or this many times I've been, I have a mother, like that. There's no count. So, so since there's no beginning of the rebirth, there's no beginning for the mother. So there's no count, for the mother. So therefore, all sentient beings have been mother. And then at the times when they've been our mother, how kind they have been. And not only at the times when they've been mother, but even at the times when they have not been our mother, they have been very kind to us, because everything that we have now is through the kindness of others.
다 대가도 지 곧 답되면 나 간지 수수기 대체대 전라라래 그래서 지금도 연구 그래서.
And so if you find that difficult to understand about all this countless rebirths or beginningless of life and so forth, then the fact that all our happiness depends on others, you can think about that. And so everything that we have now, all the comforts that we have now, is dependent on others.
제자 수수가 사야 연바의 날에 고야 연바의 날에 아니지 샘기 대치가 토와나 차상 전라라래 그래서.
So like whether it's the food that we eat, or the cloth that we wear, or the place that we live, even the good feeling that we get, depends on others.
뭐야? 제가 다 대ten가 선물이 단계 인다. 선물이 단계 대 곰도 잡쇼.
Okay.
소소게 대치대 제가 라 레근도 물로.
Now we're going to contemplate on that for a little while. Okay, so I'm going to meditate. I'm going to thinking about the dependency on dependence on others, for one's happiness.
제가 안에 두 지나도 제금제쇼. 제금 삼다쇼 대 제금제쇼. 소소게 바제 소소게 못게 대치대 제가 라 레근도 물로 사실.
So now you do an analytical meditation, right? Analyze, whether your happiness depends on others or not. So whatever you have now is through the kindness of others or not. Think about that, or try to find anything that you have, is not through the kindness of others.
Okay. Now we're going to start. Okay. Oh yeah, the chudo kelna to sorry, the chudo right check do.
So do you get that? Is it acceptable for you that it all depends on others?
What? Manzo leka chewa yana, kala sawa yana, lamkalan roba yana, kare chena kanji soso. Jela matama soso ya lanto yo mare.
So whether we are eating food, wearing clothes, or doing some kind of a job, without depending on others, we cannot stand on by ourselves.
제가 된대게 삼로다 따는데 다 변한 가지고 근데 간지 샴니제 샤주고 셈제발라 아니 셈제 삼죠 아니 따뇽 따다야 보고 공고도
And so in order to develop that kind of loving kindness and compassion for all, first of all, we have to develop that equanimity towards all sentient beings.
제가 다 가지고 가딩이 전에 가지고 삼마 가리치 먹어도 동도 왔어. 가리치 뭐 이거 동도 왔다. 다 녀를 따야 되고. 나 가지고 따다 삼마 녀를 따게 소소로 빠지게도 sol라.
So in terms of the kindness, we see that all sentient beings being very kind to us, right? So this is by thinking like that, we're trying to see all sentient beings as as someone very close to us.
제가 간도질라 연태 야보 아니 미케다 쳔보 땀다니다 간데나 젤라테는 용고도 봤어.
So all the things that we have, well, like even our knowledge, right? Our realizations, our knowledges, and our fame, and the praise that we get from people, all depends on others, right?
배차샤바이나 단단한도 개개 야보. 나 마샬 개개를 봤어. 마겔라 마샬 개개 야보 요래 사디 아니 로투스 까들라 때니 개개 야보 사디 미리 용거로 와.
Susa?
Michelle, she's your teacher, right? Yeah.
Like Michelle is a teacher, right? And so Michelle can be a good teacher, right? Michelle can be a good teacher, but if the people don't say, "Oh, Michelle is a good teacher," then she doesn't become a good teacher. Right? So her becoming a good teacher depends on others saying that she is a good teacher.
제가 개개 야보를 해야 돼. 그 미셰바가 땀도 고고도 봤어.
And so to get the name good teacher, you have to hear from others, right? You have to depend on others telling you or saying to somebody else that, oh, she's a great teacher.
제가 근데 뺀내도 뺀 알아도 담보 레벨은 가도 레라이나 가도 셈락 네바만 니메바다 삼모당고도 삼모단 안에 땡원에 가대 영어대 이거는 생각하려는데
So even if one is a great teacher, but if somebody doesn't say that, then other people don't hear that, then you don't become a great teacher. And so you can think, even that depends on others. But you wouldn't think that depends on others. We think, oh, I'm good, that's why I have that people are great.
다 되지. 다 나지게 다 가도 신배셔네 배나. 아니 가도 다이셔도 다 가도 마가게 돼. 가도 갑자기 짜야 되게 돼. 가도 저런 되게 모두 라든게 저러.
So not only the people who praise us, even people who criticize us are very kind to us. Now that's what we have to think about also. So from Buddhist point of view, that is also a very kind person.
아니 나도 저벽에 냠래 써야 돼. 아니 지금 소소 개개한다. 아니 소소라 카디나 샴보체 되게 파마다 들려드니 제가 말했어. So because
it's through the kindness of people who criticize, who say bad things, who causing harm to others, harm to us, that we can practice patience. We cannot practice patience by depending on our teacher, our gurus, or our parents and so forth. We mostly we mostly practice patience through depending on people who criticize us.
And then also
the practice of our Dharma practice, even the minor practice of Dharma, of abandoning the 10 non-virtuous action, depends on others.
소소 까리 친구도 나도 까리 친구 검토를 했나 땅가라 뇨라셔야 되겠다 양가라 까리 친구를 렌두 선배들이 삼도지 셰터와 있나 아니 가리 소소라 캡선 소소라라 그래서
And so like thinking in that way, then you can say, oh yes, sentient beings are very kind to me. They're very kind to me because I have to, it's whatever I have is all through the kindness of them. So they're very kind to me. Whether that person who praises me or person who criticizes me, they're all very kind to me. Like that. If we can think like that, then one will have that much of respect and affection and love towards others.
If
one is able to think in that way, then depending on that thought or contemplation or meditation, one will have less, or one will be able to reduce one's attachment and anger towards others.
아니 노바들이 끼어끼리 간지 아니 지가 딱 가리 네밤에 봤삼고 그래서 와
And so you think also you can think about the uncertainty of the sentient beings, those who are very close to you, you get so attached to them. Then you can say, oh, they've been very close to me now, but they also have been very, far distance from me, and they have been very cruel to me. They have caused me so much harm. There's no point being so attached to them. And then when you think about people who have caused harm to you, who have been cruel to you, or criticizing you, and so they're not, like that all the time. At some point, they also have been very kind to me, like that. So then that way you try to balance your love or hate towards all sentient beings.
제자 아니 대니 제토바였나? 아니 나도 저 차다도 총로데 차다데.
So if we are able to think in that way, then our attachment and hatred will become less.
제가 나도 뇨다 차상요도 나도 차다도 연거로 봤어.
Because all our problem comes from the love and hate.
근데 차달라 배나 가로 차달라 제가 명예가 배나 나도 강게된 뇌 차도씩 하고 근데.
So is there any kind of problem that you can think of that is not related with either attachment or hatred?
Anyone have? Maybe this situation maybe not related with the attachment or anger. Anything that? There's some no yabo you thought there. Yes, Jack.
What about physical injury? Like I have a very sore Achilles tendon now that just came out of nowhere. What does that mean in terms of?
So bula da ma de chawe na ma da so bo cha ma ka sa da so bula ma de chung I mean so bo ka so bula da ru go cha da ma so de chawe na an ti ka da ti ti cha da ka da ti
다 대양 그 단대 제다 무슨 말이야? 대양 안에 소소가 안에 딱 제가 심받으려야 안에 지금 다 주셔놓으시나 안에 레 사지 안 레제 제니 제발 되는 용어로 해서.
Well, that is also a result of negative karma, right? So the physical injury or the pain that we have is also a result of negative karma. And then that karma, we might not have created in this life, but some time ago we have created that karma. And that karma, when we created that karma, when we created that negative karma is created either in relation to attachment or hatred.
다야 배차자는 가로 배서 클램도 전에 말이니 라바차와나 야 티소소 이게 클램 제야들 차바 티모가 좀 전에 소소 마사송 거래요. 소소 끼어로.
So that's a little bit difficult, for regular people to understand. That's what we're talking from the Buddhist point of view, like when we relate that to the previous karma, right? But then, let's say, somebody like a rock climber, climbing a rock, and then he falls and then breaks his leg or something. That came from his attachment, for the rock climbing, right?
다 빼셔야 미지 고마자네 줘야 되지. 야 sabza 마치는 말이 와이나 셈나야. 나도 리그 말했으면 나자 숙청 보여랬어. 대 sabza 마치 고마리노 그랬어.
And then so like for example, like somebody is walking, right? So walking and then he twists his ankle or something, or trips and then falls. And that's because of his maybe overconfidence, thinking that he's not going to fall.
제자 sabza 가도 sab자면은 가리나 sab자 제도.
So and not being careful. So if you are not careful or careless, then you can anything can happen. So it's also very important to be careful.
다 셴바절에 yap는가 조셔와이나 그 재미재미 조셔가 말was.
And then what if you have like a diarrhea? The diarrhea doesn't have a causing condition, right?
야만나 차니 조나 그래. 야만나 칼라산이 졌나 그러was.
So you get either because of being very cold, or because of eating something wrong.
제가 칼라도 차는데 칼라텔 차바 티왕기 근데 소소인데 노그랬으면 나도 노그 말해서 차바 티왕기 그것도 안 나요 그러was.
And if it is caused by the food, then it's because of your attachment to the food. You have attachment. I don't think this food will harm me, and then you eat it and then it causes harm.
어제 도시는 나도 야보 파삼마 야보지 따나다 아니 나도도 만들게 치는 요 말까지.
So So if we think thinking that's this way, then there isn't any problem that is not related with either attachment or hatred or ignorance.
제대로는 알아서 받은 주바쇼도 알아서 받는 사상이나 주바쇼 컴퍼니나 주바쇼 아니 초반에 주바쇼도 믿은 주바쇼도.
Then sometimes we have disharmony, or all the quarreling or fighting with each other, right? Whether it's among the spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, or in the company also, right?
저도 주바쇼냐 지금 그만 보사 못하고 저도 주바쇼냐 소소야 broken 뭐 제뉴에.
So have you ever been in a fight when you were young with your couple, with your partners?
저도 뭐 제오 잡뉴에.
And I had to change many boyfriends and girlfriends.
대 누가 그렇게 말다. 대고 제오냐 누가 그렇게 말. 가르다는 알아서 나 요모 때 소주라. 나도 저 겔기 좀 말다 대.
So it's not something bad, it's caused by our delusions, right? It's nothing personal, but it's just a delusion that makes us do that.
제가야 어떻게 nga 쥐는 대 삼고데 말데 시다 대가도 요모 영화 지는 대 차로 그러스.
So it's not saying that I am mistaken, but if we are under the influence of the delusion, then those things happen.
제가 영화대 안에 가지 수수가 삼설 어머니 수수가 따와 텔레 차베 슈 첨보 영화대 미 파줘받은 통고요 말아.
Then also because of one's strong attachment towards one's view, one's way of doing the things, then not thinking about others, and then we get into fight, thinking that our view is correct and their view is not correct.
제가 안에 도중간도 따와마다 많이 주바셔도 근데 대다 차단이라 가디 나라래 근데다 안에 가도 심지어 따다 집바지베나 가디게 전에 지 따토바이나 차단게 로드마 슈 총로 다 담고는 뭐지 예 안에 가로 다시 제다 맞이나 카세오지는 소요래.
And so that like that, because of that, so all the problems that we have are related with this attachment and hatred. So if we see all the beings in equal, and that's nothing to be so attached to somebody, and there's nothing to be so hateful to somebody like that. If you think, and then you just try to manage that, then your then one's attachment and hatred will be less and less. So this is what His Holiness the Lama has expressed very clearly.
다도 상담단 시에 가봐야 다 원한 간도 남블리 참말라 다 지금 듣네고 남블리 심지어 뭐 참마까지 첨보래 삼고라 가는데 대말에서 응에서 소소한 제가 여den이가 아니 자다 니에서가 나게 되니라 삼다고 말 심지 시살라 땅땅한 간도 또 받게 말에서.
So if you just think in general, right? If you think in general, all the beings are very kind to me, like that, you won't get general realization. So first you have to focus on just the friends and enemies.
제가 두 배자 들이 터모마다 가사 샤라바질라 미 상마다 좀다. 아니 된지기 아니 소소지라 용화 좀 거다. 대군의 소소지라 용화는 다 대군의 해도 용화 쳐. 대첩섭이 지라 아니 셰네 다 심지 참말 바카보고 그래서 도시 군도 깔았더니 요래.
So you focus on a particular being, a particular sentient beings, and then once you have analyzed on that being and then gain some understanding, then you apply that same example on other beings also. So this is what His Holiness also have expressed clearly.
도저 곰도 잡다. 곰자 두 잡다. 다들 가도 남블링 뭐 돈을 된데까지 첨보해서는 가도 소 강하게 되고 말해.
So if that's how you meditate, you focus on one particular person that you somebody that you hate or somebody that you love or attached to something like that. First you focus on a particular person, and then you'll be able to generate realization like that. But otherwise, if you just keep thinking all beings in the world are very kind to me, you will never be able to get that realization.
제가 담보 소소 대화인 게 나서다. 아니 되네 딩에바냐 안에 파카카오 가로 카폰에 두치고 그래서 군dig 되네 송샤.
And so that's what His Holiness mentioned. So first you do the meditation based on somebody that you are related with in a positive way or negative way, and then after that, once you gain understanding on that, then you apply that. Then you shift that focus on others.
다 된게 다 가려운 거래. 된게 다 미파초보다 소소라 까리 첨보 임바 소송을 삶잖아. 나도 콜파 제어로 봤어.
So then, so what is the point of thinking about the kindness of others? So when you think about the kindness of others, then you will have the wish to repay the kindness, right?
저도변나 지지 대체도 장하들로도 배 남미도 파 소소 남준 대화인 것도 파 년바티 주 년바티들 룩소도 와지도 여러 왔어.
So you have this custom of giving a present to each other, right? So you receive present, and then you think, oh, because I receive present, so I have to give present to that person also.
나도 직접에 자신나 저 드린 년바이라나 다저 년바데 저 년바다라다 저대 강의진 treasure 저대 파지 때 그랬어요.
It's a very stressful thing, right, to receive the present. Because you have to give back the present. Maybe if not in an equal way, if not better way, then at least in equal way, right?
저도 대 그래요. 저도 시제 룩소도 여러.
Do you have that custom?
나도 배워라 때 슉쳐 버려 버려.
Returning the presents?
나도 배워라 원에 때빼 슉쳐 버려.
Depends how expensive it is, I think, sometimes. If it's like really, really expensive, some people might be like, no, this is too much.
No, then you think, oh, you have to give back something or not? If it doesn't matter, expensive or cheap doesn't matter. You have to also give back something to that person, or you just ignore it. Okay, I got it. Goodbye.
I think it depends on the friendship. It depends on the person.
말해 소소 능력 공천부지 라바이나? 파 공천부 되거라. 다 공천부들 가져서 다 간다 능력부터 가져라고 하고 가져라 공천 좀 가져라고 들라래 그랬어. 공천부는 다들 나 배치 공천부 쇼지를 샷는데 말렌서 말 상상을 했어.
알레. 다때 전도 룩소다. 나도 배와이나 테레파지 룩소에 말 가리 제중 가리잖아. 콜렌자레스. 얘나 레사베 jelaya 텔라 가로. 루파이 파테 오레스.
다 파티도 내가 소소라치 술렌도는 라도는 건드라고 디나시 직접으로.
디나시 파테 그래.
하나 되는 파티 한 6년 전에 dig 말아요.
제가 그 다나지 그 텔레 라마 맞아.
파 마고 dig 말아.
제가 수 가디 치와데 텔레 체지 말잖아. 추와 마테 룩소요 말. 나도 배벨 룩소잖아.
Yeah, so usually it's like that, right? So, whatever amount of the gift you receive, you try to give more than that, if not more than at least equal to that.
제장군에 전화 드린 예바라야 된가도 야가치 캐말 등가도 강이 시켜서 버렸어.
Usually, when you receive some present, it's not really a good thing, it has success in your life now, to return it back.
Yes, yeah. Your question?
Maria?
Yes, thank you, Geshe. Yeah, I was gonna say I have had that. There was a time when I wasn't working regular and I only had like part-time work. So around Christmas time, I was very stressed because, people would give you gifts and I want to give people, and I would make it worse because I'd use my credit cards to buy gifts. And it made it worse because I want to give, So yes, I do definitely can relate to that.
제가 나도 강같이 버래. 나도 녀바라왜 가려가도 녀바라 총사지 틀랭아지 파 내가지 시 제그랬어. 아니 얘나야 대sem라야 그보 첨부 샤사다.
So that happens to all of us, right? So we when we receive a present, we feel very happy. Say, oh, this is so nice, and you show to your friends, oh, look, I received this present and like that. But then that also has left a strong burden, very big.
아직 다 됐으면 임바이나 간제 투쟁이나 코마 파 마테나 아니 미드 마람도 차는 거 봤어. 간제 미드 코 치라 야보메고 차는 거 봤대.
But then also, if you don't give back, then you become a bad person, right? So
제가
you're an honest person.
제가 소소고 파조고 미드가 소소라 까디치 뭐 짱여와지 소소고 샘다 초와 랩타와이나 당이 콜라 팔아치고 그래 샘베네 까디 템베게 아니 로데 연구해서 봐.
So anyway, so if you think about that's like the regular thing, like it's not really important. You really have to have or not. But generally, like somebody who has been very kind to you, has helped you, at the time when you really need help, and then that time then you think about that person as being very kind to you, and then you always think, oh, that person is very kind, has been very kind to me, and someday I would like to repay his kindness, like that, right?
제가 배벨 루소나 아니 파티 나미도 찍질 냠바테가 루소요. 다 지금 마테나 아니 코트네 안 추가셔로스. 나포 데레테 비탱에도 되게des. 네 코드로 데레체나 콘소 나체네 데레 갑라체네 믹다갈레 마서 코로사르 그랬어.
But like when we're doing exchanging the presents, then that's not really like kindness, right? It's like almost like a competition with each other. I gave him this, and I'm expecting even bigger that from him. Or if that person didn't give you any present, then you get angry and says, oh, I gave him this and that, but he didn't give me anything, and then you get angry. So then that is not good, right?
Oh, 제가 다도 전에 아니 소소배나 녀도 wakati chim버자 녀 간지 녀는 당가도 로바지가 간지 소소고 나도 단단해라 봐. 저도 좀비 잘로 파타 타르모마다 남주 소소 깨제시에 대해서 남주 소소된 대화 용에 한 사람 주바자 사도 텐들 들어 삼당고 다시.
So think about the kindness of the people who are close to you first. Don't think about somebody who's very far away, who's living in the other side of the world. Don't think like that. That's not possible to think. Think about the people who are very close with you, somebody that you live with, somebody that you fight with, somebody that you love all the time, like that. So that kind of person, very close to you. First, think about these things towards that person.
제가 텐데기 밑에 소소를 가르쳐 보이면 소소고 가령 내가 녀터와였나? 알레타 내 콜파 지고도 좀 소대 녀가 되잖아. 미 파초바다 텐데 소소를 가지네 녀라 셰딩을 때는 콘로사의 용도를 소소라.
And so if you think about the kindness of that person who's very close to you, and then you will think about doing something good for that person. And then also your an anger towards that person, saying that, oh, he or she is nagging me all the time, will be less also.
진짜 다 텐데기 소소 가르쳐들라 아니 가르쳐네 당이 콜파 가르든 자고도나 당간도 잘라 파테바이나 콜라야 그거 찍고서 와 대만바다 가른 아니 고 아니 대변 부와임바 아니 둥아가 가디나 나대바임바데 다고 아니 대바다 dem바 둥아다 자야가 쳇데 땅에 가래고 어느 삼도 땅고도 샤바 공고도 이제 공고도 샤접섬 공고도 아니 젬베가 섬 땅고도 다 삼도 땅에 돼.
So then when you think about the kindness of that person, as now this person has been very kind to me in many ways, so therefore I should repay the kindness. So if you give a cell phone, iPhone 11 to that person, maybe that's going to put a big burden on that person's back. But anyway, so what do you have to think? So how you think of repaying the kindness is by thinking how I can bring happiness to that person. Right? How I can bring happiness to a person, how I can lead that person to have everlasting happiness of liberation and enlightenment.
제다다 가다 단다 tunso 데리 tunso 카드들 놓아서 배나 아마지 미 롱바지 와지 이양마 사도 제가 요나 다 디갑디 아마가 레바 자사야 보들에 보고 쪼벼야 돼 아마들레스.
And so it is your responsibility now, to repay the kindness, by bringing them to the state of happiness, right? Everlasting happiness. So like in an example given in the teaching here, in the text here, it's like a blind mother, who is walking on a cliff, and she's about to fall. So so then if you're a mother, who's blind and about to fall, then if you don't go and save her, then who's going to go and save her, right? And it's your responsibility to go and save her, and it's also a mother, who will depend on you, rely on you. If she doesn't rely on you, then who else can she rely on?
하나지 배는 내가 배도 아마지 뇨네야. 근데 저섬네 소소 세가래가 요나. 아니 소소 아마를 쿠로사가 말했어. 아마가 뇨네들 아니 막 세야가 답이체가 됐어. 그러나 소소가 아마가 내한테 신경을 봐.
So then also there's another example. If your mom, his mother is crazy, right, and is mentally unstable, and then she comes with a knife to attack you, and you will not be angry towards her. So because you know that she is mentally unstable, it's because of her craziness that she's doing. So instead of getting angry, you will try to help her, to get rid of that disease. So like that, you have to think towards all sentient beings. Those, even those who are causing harm to you, they're not causing harm by themselves. It's their delusion that's making them to cause harm to you.
어제 다 두전에 까지 ten고 그래서 다네 까지 ten에 아니 다 까지라파 아니 틀린지야데 가르던다 샴바니지 샹주로 간자 삼바삼부 쳐야돼 그래서
So you try to cure them, from that disease, of the delusions. Anyway, so this is the way you think, about it comes through thinking the kindness of others. So how do you repair the kindness, of others? Is through developing loving kindness and compassion towards them.
제다도 서서 코로나 되게들 안에 가로 서서 검토사래 대가리 치고 검토사래
So what do you think? Is it easy to think about the kindness, of others, especially those who are causing harm to you all the time?
가든에 제가 뇨라셔야 되게 와서 제가
Somebody who is always complaining about you, or nagging at you.
대 검토문도 대 전부 검토문도 생각도.
So that's really difficult for regular people like ourselves, right?
대 삼로 땡 림보지 전부마다 때 땅토문도 왔어.
So if we don't really think very strongly, deeply, then otherwise it is really difficult to think, of them being very kind to us.
제가 가든에 소설은 주바지야 되게 소설 내까지야 되고 까도셔야 되게 저러 와까지 땅가도 직때문에 까도지 같이 텔라 어떤 미니까지 침벌이 검사 빽깔까고도 왔어.
And so someone who is complaining to us all the time and then who is obstructing our job, our work, so that person, to think of that person as being very kind to us is very difficult, right?
근데 주쇼는 신나다. 주쇼는 신나 때까지 침보 검고를 까지 침보 레슬라고 그러왔어.
So in regular, day-to-day life, it's really difficult to think that way. But from the Dharma point of view, and in reality, of course, that person is very kind, and therefore we should think about the kindness of that person.
제다 때 검토사래 나 검야게 탑시로 가려서 저도 검토거든.
So do you think it will be possible to meditate on the kindness of such kind of people? Or can you think of any other ways, to meditate on the kindness of such kind of people?
내 가르지 않다. 텔라 돈에 가르지 않다. 저도.
So how are you going to relate with that?
소소 컨트롤 마사베 돈에 파줘달라 가대 짜오러스.
So how will you handle that? How will you handle that without getting angry towards them?
Okay, Dara. You mood again.
Okay, so I heard a statement from Pope Francis on the radio a couple of weeks ago. He talked about how we should regard all people. And the analogy he used was a little similar to Buddhism, but a little different. It was very interesting. He said that we should try and imagine that we are a mother and looking at that person who's bothering us or who's just a stranger, and imagine the love and the care that mother had for that baby when they were a child. And we should try and have that same attitude towards everybody. So I thought that's very interesting because it's similar to Buddhism, but it's slightly different perspective.
Different way. 가네라서.
It's a Pope Francis.
Pope.
Pope 게 다 그런 게 신다들 소소대 아마이 삼다 아니 더 녀가싱도 들어도 삼다 소소 고게 인선은 삼다나 네 다들 가서 거라도 되는 용도 그랬어. 지당 먼저 다 남보다 쇼튼 것도 남보 따와다 말되는 남보다 쇼튼.
제가 대 야보더네 열다. 만도 줄로 셴바도 야보 라고면 돼. 야보만 다 가로. 줄로 셴바는 무슨 말이야 야보더네 열다.
Yeah, that's really true. That's really helpful to think in that way. Like if we can think in that way, that's really helpful. And of course, not only Buddhism, but all other religions, they all have very, very good advices.
제가 뒤에 가지 아마 세야 되게 부글라 뜨박해서 이메고 삼다가 도왔어.
So that teaches us how much affection mother has towards the child, right?
제가 아메기 수수 부고 가능해 가도 전화도 주셔야 맞아. 아메기 수수 부고 주셔되는 주셔는 게 부고도 야쇼인 삼대 그랬어. 가상이 제일 많이 맞춰서.
Yeah, so just like I mentioned last time that mother sees her baby the most beautiful, right? Most beautiful, even if it's what do you call that? The broken lips, toned lip. What do you call it?
Cleft palate.
Palate.
Cleft palate.
Cleft palate, and even if the child is cleft palate, and it was among all the cleft palate child, my child is the best. Like that.
아마 되게 삼거든. 원 아마 되게 삼거다. 제가 아마 세대까지 투고 세배기 차대. 제가 단다대 야고도 다 나라 아마니 다 차당에 부고래 사바이나 안데 소소 부고가나 코로상에 빼뉴니 잡으러.
So yeah, that method, you know, that Pop explained is very good, because if you think of yourself as a mother, then, you know, for a mother to really get angry towards the child is very, 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 you know, slim, right? Very, you know, little.
제가 단다야고도 뺀다. 소소 마겐가 소소 뇨라싱이 밑에 아니 소소 부고에 삼바. 다 단대가 삼다잖아. 나 그거 아마 인삼 도와였나? 아니 다 아마 그 남주 선 더더 인게잖아. 부고라 샤라 뇨라싱이 말어.
Yeah, so, you know, if you can think of yourself being a mother, and all these people who are complaining, you know, are nagging to you, or are like your child, then it would be very much easier, you know, because if it's a regular mother, then she will not have so much of anger towards the child.
제가 두 전에 탑시 가르치는 간지 소소고 파조발라 따다데 냠보지 따야 탑시 가리기냐 탑시 꼬고 그러봐.
So like that, you know, you can look for all kinds of means, you know, through which, you know, we can think of the kindness of others, you know, or, you know, think of a way, you know, to see others all are equal to us.
Okay. Any other? 저도 something 소소 something 가려도 돼. 근데 레드에 원래 tel 탑시 가르쳐야 돼.
And also you can think of your own, you know, ways, you know, to think about that. What kind of method can you find?
Okay. If someone bothers me all the time, how can I deal that without angry? Do I able to think this is a very kindness? I don't think so, right? All of us. He or she or he blocks my thought. He blocks my way. Oh, this is my best idea. Why they don't do it? Then after you don't like that person. Right? Yeah,
so that kind of you know, attitude, you know, to change that kind of attitude is very difficult, right? So like I said, you know, we can't think about our own mistakes, you know, so we should also think about our own mistakes.
제가 소소고 노트 강 채와데 담보땡 무슨 바지네 대마까야 답이 땅고 그러세요. 나도 대신 바지 미마 책전 딱 말이야. 소소는 노트 예바진 딱 말이야. 대 파조에 구제 마서 뭐제 마서 얘게 제 마서 전제 봐. 소소는 삼보 땅다 노르바다. 나 제가 제다 내가 나도 바지 삼 땅가 말이야.
So most of us, we don't think about our own mistakes or faults. You know? So we should try to find our own faults. Right? So think about our own faults, think about our own mistakes, and then try to fix it. Well, most of us, we don't think about, you know, the faults and mistakes as ours. We always think it's because of others. We always blame, so because of him or because of her, I have this and I have that. You know? We always blame on others.
소소라 가리게 뺀다 셈 주고도 가리게 셈 주고도 좋아 아니 소소고 셈 주야 될래야 소소군에 대 섭취하고 탑시지 정말 파주와 피게 제거도 전에 삼대 그러고
And then what is disturbing our mind, right? So then we try to look for the means, you know, to overcome that disturbance, and not blaming on others. And say, oh, because of that person, my mind is disturbed, like that. Not blaming on others.
When I talk this, did I talk something yesterday? Example. Okay, Michelle. It bothers you someone's park car in front of your house?
Does it bother me?
Yeah.
What do you mean? If they park
in front of your car?
In front of my car.
Yeah.
So I can't get out, you mean, or?
No, you can get out there. You know, always someone, you know, park there next to your car or very close that.
If they're too close, it can bother me sometimes.
Okay. If someone's put the trash in the front next to your door, just put that, this bothers you?
If the trash,
yeah.
I think if it's something that's repeated, if it's consistent, it bothers me. If it happens once or twice, I can let it go. Okay. But if it consistently happens, it could
Okay.
bother my mind.
Okay, what's the most bothers you always? Any kind of situation.
What's the most that bothers me?
Yeah, how about you guys? How about Osco?
Austin.
Austin, sorry. Austin.
I don't know. I have to think about that for a while.
Oh, that's good. How about Laura? How about yes.
I was going to say it bothers me when I won't name names, but when people that I live with leave their like dirty socks and dirty clothing, you know, around on the floor or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that. They're like small examples. We don't have to big examples. Yeah, like that.
Cigarette smoke. Cigarette smoke.
Someone's cigarettes next to you.
Cigarette smoke. Yeah.
Yeah. 제가 나도 내린데 뭐뭐도 나도 대다 뭐 요래서.
Yeah, thinking of all these kind of different kind of examples like that, right?
이나 간주 쪼임 받치는 사람 전당 매워서 어때 그 야부 제마서 자지 마.
So when something that kind of things that you all mentioned, you know, disturbs you, you think it's their fault only, or you also think, you know, it's your fault partly?
I think usually we don't think that's my fault. I have something wrong. We don't think, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
I think the
sometimes I have to remind myself, you know, that I must have, you know, smoked around them, or, you know, I created it, you know, to be there. So I try. I don't do it all the time, but I try.
제가 아니 그 죄송 그 야고 그 사람 당하면도 그미 맨날 단단잖아 담만 대원은 그미 파조백까지 내잘로 삼 당하면도 그좀 그거면도 난 삼백 그랬어.
Yeah, sure. We always blame on others, right? So, like for example, you know, when somebody is smoking in the place, you know, like where they're not allowed to smoke, and then you get angry towards that person. Oh, that person is smoking in a place, you know, that's where it's written no smoking, and you're still smoking there, and you get angry towards that person, right?
다 단다 저랑 다만 댕기지나 저랑 그 대충에 누가 지금 말했어.
So that's because you don't smoke yourself, right? If you are someone who smokes, then maybe you will not consider that as so bad.
제가 단다 로라 삼세도 로라 저랑 남지 소소 대다 싸마 제대로 미션이 되잖아. 좋다. 저랑야 대나지나 저한테 좋아질 내가 말했어. 가와가와 익샤나.
And same with Laura's cases, you know, because you live very, you know, neat and clean, you know. Therefore, when somebody like leaves things in a place in a way it's not supposed to be, then you get agitated.
But I'm not. I'm not neat and clean.
But if you are also someone who doesn't care, you know, to leave your things everywhere, then when you see, you know, that kind of things, then maybe you don't get bothered so much.
And then also how about you? You put your own socks and underwear put everywhere around that?
Yes, I do sometimes, but I still get angry when other people do it.
One of my friends calls it righteous anger. It's anger that's justified.
What means that?
Righteous anger.
Because digbe kondos wada. Kondos ana digio ba kejas. Digbe.
Digbe kondo.
사처브 kondos wada.
사처브 kon도 저 말이야. 사처브 kon도 간다. 매매 지다 간나 kon도 되고 소소 맞지 왔지게로 봤어. 대다 사처 말탄 거네나.
There's no such thing as even if it's righteous or not, you know, it causes disturbance in one's mind, right? So therefore, you know, so whatever kind of anger it is, you know, it should not be there.
Yes, Margaret.
I just want to share a funny story about the socks, Laura's. It's very common. I mean, I went through that same stage too. And it bothers me, so I get angry. But then I realize it's me that's getting angry. Everybody can just walk over them and don't care about it. So I was like, I went through different stages. Initially, like I would get angry, But I think it's so right, Geshe-la, that you say when we start to practice Dharma practice, the best is to start with the people at home. So then I realized that I'm the one who's getting angry, nothing changed. Then if it really bothers me a lot, I'm always picking up and cleaning up. Then one day I said, okay, I'm not gonna do it anymore. I just push all the socks into one corner and then just let it keep on piling up until the person finally realized, like, oh my God, that is the pile that is their own. So that's just my funny story, sorry.
Yeah, that's good, that's good, yeah. Yeah, this has happened always, yeah. 제가 남편은 소소고 간제 내가 제주도 가리가 소소로 뭐다 제가 한번 대만 먼저 제가 잡시 제가 그랬어.
So yeah, so the most important thing is whatever causes, whatever disturbs you most, then first you try to subside that.
Of course, there's something situation, big problems we have to immediately solve, but like put the socks around that, it's usually it's not big deal, right? That just the person's got a personality. Some people really like, some people doesn't bother, some people really bother that. Therefore, depends your own, how you say,
personality.
Yeah.
So I realized that what changed is actually my own mind, how I deal with it, Like, I mean, of course, it still bothers me to see it, but when I have that shift in the mind, then I just laugh at it. It's not always work, but I realize that's what, it's really how I just, the way I deal with it, my attitude and my perception of it. And also then, because I also realized, like, if I really want to practice, if I can't even deal with the people at home, how can I even say I have loving kindness for other people outside?
Exactly. 진짜 소소 가세 되게 부수 도와줘거든요. 소소라 간이 선발 가는 중으로 온다.
So you more it bothers to you, right? Then your mind is that much more disturbed, right?
그냥 그만가도한테 침대 저랬어. 아니 부모절에 가디나 모란게 모타 샤사들이야. 다 밤나 마밤나 가디나 모라 샤달 미스치 모라 샤초 말이야. 샤다테 뭐 투파 강도 그래.
So there's also this neighbor, at near the center. There's this lady. She always leaves a sign on the street where she parks, whether it's a snow or not snow. So she always leaves a sign there. And if somebody removes that sign and parks their car, she will go all the way to fight with them.
제가 아니 소속 섬다더라. 다 강아들 이제 소속 깔래 잠시만이야 티처. 대면은 남주편은 다 단행이 라이바. 아니 소속들 미셔봐 모타샤나 미카시 버더치 카시 버더치 말아봤어. 제 버더치에도 소속 샘투도 좀 샘바고 이렇게 섭체되는 거에 말아와.
Or like if you really worked hard yourself to shovel the snow and then you leave a sign, that makes that's like more acceptable, right? But otherwise, just leaving a car in front of your house, it should not bother you. But some people get really bothered, and some people get bothered so much, and so now it's all created by their own mind. So that's why I asked earlier to somebody this question, whether when somebody has parked a car in front of your house, do you get bothered or not?
다 되게 이렇게 저기 되게 미 쪽은 소소라 아니 다 내서 가리가 가리는 버더 책인도 대소수문에 sometimes 매워 책 탑시단 거 그래서.
And so we don't have to be bothered like that. So it's okay like that. If you take it easy, then it will not bother you. It will not disturb your mind. Your peace of mind will not be disturbed. So that the reason why I'm talking about all this is because to find out whatever thing is most bothering to you, and then think about that, and then is it really worth being bothered by that or not?
Okay. Any other questions? Other thoughts? Other things to share? So do
you think it's like that? Do you think that thing has to be solved? That thing that you think is causing you or bothering you?
가디나 다 코 녹어도 코 야고 지금도 코 자냐 다 코 야만 뭐 Chanja samde korda.
Yeah, so always thinking about others, right? Thinking about that blaming on others, or thinking that the others are bad, or he's doing this, she's doing that. Not like always thinking like that.
Okay. 제자 안에 뇨모 가리 슈체나 대담보 마테스 좀 뭔좀 지어서 당고르다.
So whatever kind of delusion is more strong, gross, strong in the sense that we can pick, we can find out, right? Identify. So that kind of delusion first has to be handled.
저는 저랑게 내가지 제타왔지. 내가지 제티비 줄래야 아니 미션바치는 저 야고 쳔들람네 촌도 때 뭐도 제도.
Say you did something, right? You did some kind of work, and then later somebody comes, oh, you didn't do a good job, and they do the same kind of job over your job. So does that bother you?
제자 대체나 소중한데 사바 남다 야타지 제 퍼져고 양주 제도 문제 주도 내고 말했어. 대야조래.
So from your side, in that case, from your side, you did your, you do your job in the best way you can, and then don't be bothered, whether somebody says you did a good job or bad job.
내 저치데. 단 소중한데 내가 사바놈도 야보치. 소중 미시 파줘가 직거래 텔라 가로. 이거는 로션에 저도 때 내용도 해.
So then you did something very good, with a good motivation. You did some job, right, with a very good motivation, and then somebody, doesn't pay attention to that or just ignores, right? Doesn't comment on you or doesn't say anything good about that. Then does that bother you also?
Did it bother you guys? Some people, right? Some people not. 제가 가세 들이 버더 징해제나 대체는 구야요 말했어. 버초한테 도대체 라가도 구야요 말했어.
Yeah, so we expect, right? Somebody, you did something, you did a favor for somebody, and then you expect that person to say thank you to you, right? So if that person doesn't say thank you, then does that bother you? It bothers, right? It bothers us mostly, right? Most of us, it bothers us. So anyway, so the best thing is to not expect any thank you when you do something good for us.
나도 전화 야부 투자를 가서 you don't have to say that. 나도 샘 나가 제거래. 가을라 샘라. 데스코 샘바들 가오용 거래.
But when somebody does say thank you to you, say, oh no, that's okay. You don't have to say thank you. But in your mind, you say, yeah, that makes me happy.
제가 직대 지지대 때고 그 잘로테 대대고 잘로데 갑대다고.
That's what we call the eight worldly concerns. So that's always behind us.
다 소소 제와지 아니 걔 맞아냐 소소 나을 팔레고 가라 코치 삼로 지티딩이라 요래 야 나한테 깔리 자외 내가 뭐 제대 코수 스치가 개개라 마서서 그 잡로도 그 지티딩 대대라고.
And then you did something, and nobody reacted to that or say thank you to you, and you go back home and you say, oh, that thought is, kind of heavy in your head, all the time. And says, oh, I did this, I did that, but nobody said anything to me like that, and you keep thinking like that. That's kind of boring. So yeah, meditate on that and all these things that we just talked about, and to see whether it's true or not like that. So what we're talking about here, is something for you to contemplate and meditate on, and analyze whether that's true or not.
And so te gom masamja madan de la gure insari ote la bari ane yana ko noto ti te sha ane ko lalen ke tag marwa.
And so if you don't think about that, right, if you don't go back and meditate or contemplate on that or analyze on that, then it says, oh yeah, like that, and then you just take some note and then just leave the note in your notebook and then just close it. Then that doesn't, and then don't apply to the practice, right? You're not applying that to the practice, and that talk doesn't matter, doesn't help you at all.
다 지난 게 저도 저하시면 받는 저도 들세 말 해 계실라서 하지. 근데 내고 대 무슨 거 돈하게 맞이 샤잖아. 안 좋다 그래. 계실라 doesn't 가로 패턴이 미치나도 제기로 왔어.
Another question for you. Let's say you say hi, to Geshe, and then Geshe didn't, respond to you, and then says, then will you be disturbed? Says, I said hi to Geshe, but he didn't respond.
딜레게 소텔레게 나 가르 파 소소 징에 피 미치로 그제 소소 끊어지 마 제대로 와. 나 내들 파변에 전화도 미강가 따대로 와. 삼두면 통화스에 통화에 자 뒤쳐들레게 말해. 네 파체원데 기실라가 토마송에서 몇까지 세면대고 마대어지래 그랬어.
So like here, in the Zoom, there are so many people. Geshe can see only a certain number of people at a time, right? And then somebody that he didn't see, and then that person waved, at Geshe, and then Geshe didn't say hello back to him or respond. And then the person gets upset. But then person doesn't think, oh, there's so many people, and maybe Geshe didn't see me, so it's okay like that. If you think like that, then you will not be bothered. But if you think, oh, I waved at him, but he didn't respond to me like that, then you get bothered. It's just the way you think about it, right?
That pet is the party, but I'm to Boma, party to watch. And the case that Charanga Chila in ma. And the me part of the China Lama George, Mission Lagan, and Yacho, Sam Poffat guy. Koji Kongachin Yajamas.
So then also same with like when you go to a party and then there are so many people that you meet, and then you talk to somebody, you go to talk to somebody, but that person, goes, to talk to somebody else. Then again, that. So that happens, right? So that's that we can understand by relating to our own experiences, right?
Okay, Cheda, Tende Yavana, Tita, something Java something Java Madana Kadi in a bother shed.
So if we have like that, then we should change. We should try to change our way of thinking. If we don't change, then those kind of things all kinds of those kind of things will bother us all the time.
Okay, like that, okay? I just talk you something. You guys do a little bit meditation, okay? Okay, now we stop. You can do pray.
Okay. Page 39, the Thanksgiving mandala offering. Saji perki jukching metok tram ri rabling jing yi degyen padi sangye jing du mikte uwagi drokun namba jing la cherpan shu jetun lame kutse rapten ching nap katrin le chok cher ge padang lo santen pedren me sasungi drowe munsel tak tu nek yur chig idam guru ratna mandalakam niryatayami. From my two collections, vast is space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose mind's wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold the Buddha's teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or when spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded course to enlightenment completed due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Savior, the snowland teachings and transmigratory beings, who extensively clarifies the path that unifies emptiness and compassion, to the lotus in the hand, Lord Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be fulfilled. Page 49, the short long line prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as a bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. Page 57, prayer of dedication. Through this virtue may I swiftly having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that place. Precious Supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. Page 75, Sema. Mig mate se peter chen chen resik, dream yen bei wang po jong del yang, gong chen ke pe su gen Tsongkhapa, lo sang rak pe Jagla Solvade.
Thank you, everyone.